Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start this video for Top channel with Divinity Original Sin 2. Made by the same studio which made Baldur's Gate 3, this is one of the best RPG games ever created. Overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam can confirm that with ease, and people in the comment section are openly saying that this may be the best game they ever played in general. But you know, you shouldn't trust people that easily. Once my good friend said that you can't drink beer instead of water.
Blasphemy!
Because it's not the negativity I want in my life, we are not friends anymore. Also keep in mind that this is a serious game for adults. It has a dark and gloomy world and sexual content. But don't worry, it will keep your virginity as strong as ever. Original Sin 2 will take about 200 hours out of your boring life, and that is really amazing because every minute of it is really entertaining. The Hand of Merlin. This is a turn-based roguelite RPG in which a famous legend about King Arthur clashes with a sci-fi horror. You'll explore a medieval setting on the brink of apocalypse, trade with merchants, improve your heroes and unearth ancient relics. And by doing that, search for the lost fragments of your soul scattered across the multiverse and save as many worlds as you can. As you jump from one dimension to the next, history is reshaped and it gives real deepness to this game. People on Steam are saying that the game is hard and pushing, but in a good way. You actually learn a lot from your failures here, not like in real life. Although people also say that the game fancies to crash, especially during the combat, and that may be infuriating. Wildermyth. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, meaning that it is close to a masterpiece and it is blasphemy to ignore it. Literally, you will burn in hell, of your religion of choice, if you at least don't watch the short overview of Wildermyth till the end. Or for an atheist, you'll find cat hairs in your coffee all the time, even if you don't own a cat. Way worse than hell. So like the best tabletop role-playing experiences, this game gives you choices and answers your every decision with consequences that drive your characters forward. The best thing is that all heroes here will die someday. Yeah, that is probably not the best thing, to be honest, but here you'll get to hold on to your favorites, reintroduce them in the next adventure, and over many lifetimes you create your own legendary pantheon. This game is truly great. Wartales. It has been 100 years since the world saw the fall of the once great Edoran Empire at the hands of an unprecedented plague that swept the nation. So prepare to lead a group of characters in a huge open world where combat, death and thirst for riches will shape and define your day-to-day life. You are not a special chosen one ushering in a new era of peace. Nah, your goal is solely to survive, well, and thrive in this harsh and hostile land. From the most insignificant petty thieves to the land's most notorious figures, there is no such thing as a profit too small to take. You can recruit from the vast array of new companions with numerous unique skill sets and weapon preferences, resulting in a plethora of possible builds. You will accept contracts that will take you on a task to defend, liberate and save the many inhabitants of the land for money. You are not a hero, remember? Also here you will be able to collect bounties, from the most insignificant pathetic thieves to the land's most notorious figures. There is no such thing as a profit too small to take. Very wise words, probably many times spoken by Quark from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. These are great titles, and if you like classic Baldur's Gate or Icewind, you probably have heard about the games already. But have you heard that Pillars of Eternity saved the Obsidian studio from bankruptcy? They had a really bad experience with their big-budget Xbox One exclusive game named Stormlands. Well, long story short, publisher cancelled the game and Obsidian had to lay off 30 people. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that the reason for cancelling was the main hero's haircut. You just can't approve of something like that. That's a fact, it burned my eyes already. So the studio was devastated and they decided to play the last card in their hand. And that card was a Kickstarter campaign. You know, if you want to ace the project, you still have to create at least the first level of the game, and it should work on a certain level so you could show off what you got. The campaign was unbelievably successful. Crowdfunding raised more than $4 million, pledged by only 74,000 people. You know, most of the people who like Baldur's Gate now are kinda old and automatically kinda rich. So if you target rich grown-ups with their nostalgic fantasy, there is a huge chance that you will succeed. Anyway, in Pillars of Eternity you become a hero and save people from a scary phenomenon known as Hollowborn. People are being born without a soul, so I guess they can't sell it to the devil and get nice things. What a robbery! But you will fix everything, don't worry.
I want to buy your soul.
Alright, $50.
No, too expensive.
this is one of the greatest role-playing experiences you will ever have, but play it only if you like reading a lot and like games without combat. You will not find any here. Well, I mean combat that is not a result of your dialogue choices. Your character will do things automatically based on the decisions you make, and those decisions of yours are not always very smart, and Disco Elysium just lets you do stupid things, which is kinda scary because suddenly you may realize that you just wanted to test the waters, but instead you actually made the decision that will have grim consequences. And by grim, I mean really grim. On some of those occasions, the game just ends. You may see game over screen without even playing an hour, and the game is like,
I told you, but you pushed me hard, so the consequences are yours to swallow.
yeah, actually Disco Elysium has 3 different endings and 12 unique game overs, those I talked about before. So always, and I mean always, think twice before doing something stupid, and then think twice while playing Disco Elysium as well, because no matter how stupid the decision you want to make is, the game may let you do it. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. Made with the same Infinity engine as a classic Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale is a more battle-oriented game. You'll find less side quests and less story, but you will enjoy an amazing atmosphere because the game is really detailed. Also, the party is entirely player-made with no other NPCs offering to join at any given moment. Although this is an enhanced edition, don't expect anything fancy or modern. Yeah, graphics are improved, quick loot is implemented, all the expansions are here, and even quests you never seen before. But those are not new quests, they were just cut off from the original release back in 2000s. So this remaster is like a new paint on an old building. The face is new, but the body is old and it plays like an old game as well. Be aware of that. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. You'll discover the shattered world of Solasta, explore ruins and dungeons for legendary treasures, learn the truth of an age-old cataclysm and stop it from happening again. You will be able to create your own party of adventurers in the classic tabletop RPG tradition. The choices you will make while choosing various skills, traits and backstories of your heroes will reflect in their dialogue. You know, if some of them are born in Potato Saladistan, they will always be enemies with the guys who put pineapple in their potato salad. And with these characters you will dive into long-forgotten dungeons to unearth ancient artifacts. But stay watchful of light and darkness. Many dangers hide in the dark, but a light can attract monsters as well. Some enemies have dark vision, some may flee from your torch, but, you know, as I always say, the best way to light your way is with fireballs. It doesn't really matter if your enemies have dark vision or not, a fried monster is always better than a raw monster, so the game is pure treasure for a CRPG fans, and also it includes Dungeon Manager, so you can make your own stories and maps, or play some good ones created by way more talented people than you. Also keep in mind that the game has 3 DLCs and 1 supporter pack available, and those DLCs along with the base game are constantly on one sale or another. Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. I will say bluntly, if you like tactical turn-based games, this RPG here is a must-play. It's not a recommendation or something, but the law. You must play it if you want to go, you know, to game hell after your death. Anyway, this version of the game includes both the Battle of Steeltown and Cult of the Holy Detonation expansions, as well as the Colorado Survival Gear bonus items. And the game itself is a wonderful gem for all Fallout, Baldur's Gate and all turn-based combat fans. In Wasteland 3 you will travel to the frozen wastes of Colorado to deal with gangs, cults and psychopathic clowns in effort to bring stability to the wastes. Or, you know, as always, even more chaos and even more psychopathic clowns. Yeah, not like in real life, your decisions really matter and the world will change according to your actions and reactions. Tyranny. In a realm where the tyrant has already won, you must decide how to reshape the world. Will you become an all-powerful dictator, or will you strengthen the pillars of a new regime? You are not a random villager here. In fact, you will wield a vast amount of power in the occupied lands. So basically, you are some kind of a Littlefinger. Just be careful to not end up like Littlefinger as well. You know, dead. Also, it's not a spoiler, Game of Thrones ended about 4 years ago. Yeah, time flies. So in Tyranny, your actions really matter, and no decision here is truly black or white.
Or Asian.
The choices here are morally obscure and will never let you out of the situation easily. People on Steam really love that this game is very detailed and the world itself feels alive and immersive. The combat might be challenging, but it is fair, since it rewards the players who take the time to strategize. Just be warned that Tyranny is more like a book. Be ready for the walls of text everywhere you go. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!